TGIF, everyone. It's the Friday evening edition of Weather for Weather Geeks, the Valley's most in-depth weather forecast, weather video. Let's get right to it this evening because we have a lot to talk about as we go into this first weekend, I should say, of May. It's going to be more like March. Well, it's been soggy lately, that is for sure. And counting today, we've now had 8 days of measurable precipitation in a row. We'll make it 9 tomorrow and probably 10 on Sunday, because I do think it will rain some after midnight Sunday morning and mostly before daybreak. So we'll probably make it 10 in a row. And at the airport, so we've picked up a total of 3.23 inches worth of rain over the last 8 days. That's quite a bit of rain. So it's getting pretty waterlogged around here. Over the last 24 hours, here's some of our local rain gauges. Just since about 7:30 last evening, about an inch Latonia to Guilford Lake and up towards Boardman, half an inch for a lot of Mahoning County, and up into Mercer County, 3/4 of an inch around Mercer. You always have to take a couple of these numbers with a grain of salt because depending on if the personal weather station is online, some of these numbers can be a little bit wonky, like East Liverpool, only 1/100 of an inch. That's not right. Hermitage, 0. That's not right either. So most of these stations are, reporting pretty reasonable numbers this evening, but we have a couple of wonky ones on there. All right, over the last 96 hours, here's a look at the Doppler radar estimated rain. Look at all the rain in Indiana, Illinois, down into Missouri as well. Closer to home here now, again, these are 96-hour totals. Let's do just a quick query on our region and see what the average has been over the last 3 days. Average of about a half an inch over the last 3 days, but of course, some places have had quite a bit more than that, as I just showed you in the last 24 hours. Some places have had more than that. Some thunderstorms bubbled up this afternoon in the warm sector out to our east. Boy, frustrating forecast locally today. We went out with 67 last night for today's high. That was off by 12 degrees at the airport and off by about 30 miles, maybe 40 miles as to how close the warm air got. It got into the 60s today in southeastern Columbiana County, Beaver County in PA. It got to 70 or so in Pittsburgh. It hit 80 in Morgantown, West Virginia. It just didn't get as far north as we thought. So a lot of us were stuck in the 40s and lower 50s throughout the day. But where that warmer air managed to make some inroads, some thunderstorms bubbled up this afternoon, and these have actually meant some business. There's been a handful of warnings on these, some hailers down in parts of West Virginia, and we've had some flooding problems out across parts of western and west central PA. All this is east of I-79. So some flash flooding this evening, Kittening, and heading up to the north towards Reimersburg. This is around the Clarion area over in PA along I-80. We have some flash flood warnings out for a couple of hours this evening, right around the Clarion area, and then heading off to the south. That's east of our viewing area. As we go into the night tonight, we got rain to the west, we got rain to the east, and it's all going to kind of start to come together and lead to a fairly wet night for us in the Mahoning and Shenango valleys. Our high-res modeling here doing a pretty good job depicting where the precipitation is right now. And so that increases our trust level and its ideas for the overnight, and its ideas are, yeah, it's going to get wet. Boy, is this going to be ugly late tonight into the day tomorrow. I've been, talking all week about, hey, catch up on your Netflix tomorrow. If you have indoor projects, if the honey-do list includes some indoor things, tomorrow's your day to catch up on them. You're not going to be doing much outside tomorrow. It's going to be windy, damp, and cold, and just nasty. I mean, this is a north wind, probably gusting into the 20s, maybe 30 miles per hour on a couple of occasions. Cold rain showers. Wouldn't be surprised if we had some soft hail or some grapple in some of the heavier rain showers tomorrow. And temperatures not moving at all. And then by tomorrow night, as the atmospheric column continues to cool, I do think that there is a possibility of a couple of snowflakes, particularly northeast of Youngstown up into Crawford County, PA, and close to Erie, and then into southwest New York. Even if you see a couple of snowflakes tomorrow night and early Sunday, no impact. It's not going to stick or anything. And then sunshine will break out Sunday afternoon, and I think Sunday afternoon can be salvaged. Now, it's still going to be cold for this time of the year, but it'll be a lot better than Saturday. And then high pressure will build in and give us another fairly sunny day on Monday. Yeah, I had to show the wind chill map again tonight. This is for tomorrow. Air temperatures tomorrow afternoon, 43, 44 mostly. Wind chills, mid-30s. Ugh. Hoodie and hot chocolate weather as we kick off the weekend. All right, let's talk once again about the frost and freeze threat for Sunday night. Here's a look at our one of our high-res models showing temperatures pretty close to freezing at daybreak on Monday. I don't think a hard freeze is all that likely in most of the area. What I mean by a hard freeze is at least a few hours of sub-30 temperatures. Now, that's possible in the coldest nooks, but in most places, I don't think that's all that likely. We'll get down to about 31, 32 in most spots, and then temperatures will start rising during the daylight hours. The frost threat may depend some on the wind. You know, I just showed you our FUTURECAST model, and let me actually bring that back up real quick here. The concern about the frost, again, will depend some on will the wind go calm or not. The modeling shows not exactly dead calm air here Monday morning. The high is not just right over us. You know, what I mean by that is the high's over here. If the high were right overhead, the wind would go dead calm, and there could be really thick frost Monday morning. But this shows still a little bit of a breeze, and that breeze may be what prevents more widespread frost. Some patches, I think, are possible, but not real convinced that this is a real heavy frost situation for Monday morning. Frost can occur with temperatures up into the mid-30s if the conditions are right. One of the reasons for that is air temperatures, our official temperatures, are taken at 2 meters, which is about 6 feet. That's about as tall as I am. I'm 5'10". So 6 feet is about as high above the ground as, you know, an average male height, roughly. And frost, of course, occurs on grass and things on the ground, which is much lower than 6 feet. So the air temperature at 6 feet can be 36, 37 degrees even, whereas the temperature on the ground could be as cold as 32. And that's why you can get some frost with temperatures above freezing. So just a quick reminder of that, and that a freeze generally means, yeah, you want to bring the plants in. So if you've got some hanging baskets or some outdoor plants that you've you know, gotten out there already this spring season during the warm weather, you know, take care of them Sunday night and again Monday night as well. Either cover them or, if you can, bring them in. All right, let's head over and talk about the long range for just a minute. We've covered this extensively this week, how the next week to 10 days is going to be chilly. This is a look at the latest European modeling showing temperature anomalies. Look at all the cool anomalies in the east as I roll this forward all the way through next weekend. This is next Sunday, the 14th, Mother's Day. A cool day. How cool? Not sure yet, but it's not going to be in the 80s or anything on Mother's Day this year. So we're in this pattern for a week to 10 days. Then once we're beyond, say, the 16th, 17th, I think the atmospheric, or the pattern, will finally start to become dislodged. This block will become dislodged, and we'll finally get some warmer weather. Check out the warm anomaly shown here right around Friday the 19th and into Saturday the 20th. So it's going to take some time. It may take even up to 2 weeks before we see a return of the kind of nice warm weather we've had at times this spring. So hang in there, it's coming back, but you got to be a little bit patient because it may take until the second half of the month. Hope you have a great weekend, everyone. Tune back in for Weather Geeks, same time, same place, Monday evening, and 21 News at 11 tonight. I'll have an update on the radar, show you where the rain is and is not, and all that good stuff tonight at 11. Have a great night.